Robinsons Land Corp. RLC spends 800 million pesos for NCR land banking and Manila, Cainta, Pagadian expansion. Robinsons Land Corp., led by Bilyonaryo Frederick Go, has fully deployed the 822 million pesos it raised from the sale of its Bacolod property to its real estate investment trust REIT arm. The bulk of the funds, or 506 million pesos, went to the purchase of prime property in the National Capital Region. The rest of the funds went to the redevelopment of Robinsons Manila, 110 million pesos, ongoing expansion of Robinsons Place Pagadina, 94 million pesos, and Robinsons Metro East redevelopment, 66 million pesos. Last March, RLC sold its two-story, PECA-registered Robinsons Cybergate Bacolod, with a gross leasable space of 10,367 square meters, to RL Commercial REIT Inc. (RCR). RCR will lease the land occupied by the building from RLC for 50 years with an option to renew for another 25 years. Now news ready to level up. Mel Villar's Now Telecom, USTDA seal partnership. Now Telecom of businessman Mel Velarde has secured the backing of the U.S. government for its planned nationwide 5G rollout in the Philippines. In a regulatory filing, listed Now Corp. Said affiliate Now Telecom and the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, USTDA, have signed a letter of intent at the 5th Annual Indo-Pacific Business Forum in Tokyo, Japan. The signing commemorates the parties' intent to work together in support of Now Telecom's deployment of a nationwide 5th-generation broadband network in the Philippines. Now Telecom received a funding grant from the USTDA for the development of 5G mobile and fixed wireless networks to advance critical digital infrastructure projects. The company did not disclose the amount of the grant. The technical assistance grant will provide Now Telecom with the necessary analysis, designs and plans for phased implementation of the project. Now Telecom intends to conduct a 5G pilot network at multiple sites in Metro Manila to validate network performance, test 5G use cases, and provide data to inform larger-scale deployment. Likewise, the technical assistance includes examination of available various financing schemes including grant, equity, and debt financing from potential donors, investors and financial institutions, and assessment of the level of interest of funding organizations, the amount and terms of potential financing, and any specific financial requirements for the full-scale implementation of the project, Now said. Union Bank News. Union Bank of the Philippines Union Bank Chief Technology and Operations Officer Henry Aguda has joined the government to lead its digital transformation efforts. Sabon Aboitiz taps Union Bank's Chief Tech Officer to work for Marcos. Union Bank of the Philippines Union Bank Chief Technology and Operations Officer Henry Aguda has joined the government to lead its digital transformation efforts. Aguda has been appointed as the Digital Infrastructure Lead of Malacañang's Private Sector Advisory Council, which is chaired by his boss, Aboitiz Group President and CEO Sabon Aboitiz. Aguda's latest assessment of pro-technology policies include noting great improvement in processing times of permits to build telco towers and cell sites. This observation has been shared by PLDT President and Chief Executive Officer Al Panlilio as well as Globe President and CEO Ernest Cu. Ayala, Ali, Mermac closed 17.2 billion pesos deal. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, approval of a shares for property swap has allowed Ayala Corp., Mermac Inc., and Ayala Land Inc. Ali to complete a 17.2 billion pesos transaction. In a disclosure, Ayala Corp. Said the move was part of a strategic initiative to raise its ownership stake in Ali, which rose to 50.6%. The 17.2 billion pesos deal had Ayala Corp. Subscribing to Ali common shares priced at P55.80 apiece, based on a fairness opinion issued by FTI Consulting Philippines Inc. FTI The assets involved in the share swap a 50% stake in Ayala Hotels Inc., a joint venture company that owns a lot list the Manila Peninsula Hotel Inc., a 100% stake in Darong Agricultural Development Corp., a company with land assets in Davao del Sur, office units at the 32nd to 35th floors of Tower 1 and 1 Exchange Plaza with the corresponding parking slots, a commercial lot with improvements in Bagumbayan, Quezon City, and land located in Calauan, Laguna. FTI employed the discounted cash flow method and third-party property appraisals in valuing the assets of Ayala Corp. The ALI shares were valued using discounted cash flow, net asset valuation, and other pertinent financial metrics for its business segments. The common shares will be issued after the SEC confirms the valuation of the ALI shares and the exemption of the same from a registration requirement. ALI will be applying with the Bureau of Internal Revenue for certificates authorizing registration against the Ayala Corp assets. The transaction qualifies as tax-exempt under Section 40(c)(2) of the National Internal Revenue Code. The shares will be listed at the PSE after the application has been approved. BPI Robinson 19 na bilyong piso purchase, the Binagokongway's RRHI expected to get board seat in Ayala's, BPI. Robinson's Retail Holdings Inc. RRHI, of Bilyonaryo Binagokongway will get to nominate a representative to the 15-seat board of Bank of the Philippine Islands with its purchase of additional shares worth 19 billion pesos in the Ayala-owned bank. RRHI announced Friday, January 13, the completion of its purchase of a 4.4% stake of Erin Investment, an affiliate of Singapore Wealth Fund GIC, in BPI at P99.50 per share. Erin owns 22% of Lion Tide Holdings, which controls 20% of BPI. The purchase will increase RRHI's latter total stake in BPI to 6.8%, which would make it eligible for one board seat. RRHI had previously owned 2.4% of BPI after the merger of the Gokongway family's Robinsons Bank (RB) with BPI. This corresponds to RRHI's latter 40% stake in RB, with JG Summit taking a 3.6% interest in BPI from its 60% stake in RB. JG Summit is expected to continue borrowing from BPI because RRHI is just an affiliate and not a subsidiary of JG Summit, which exempts the latter from the OSRI, directors, officers, stockholders, and other related interests restrictions. Salim Taibling's option to privatize Metro Pacific could turbocharge its $500 million tollway IPO. Metro Pacific Investments (MPI) plan to go private will enable it to realize the full potential of its tollway business. In a report, Abacus Securities said, if ever MPI decides to delist, this might even be a boon for the planned listing of its tollway arm, as shareholders of the conglomerate might consider shifting their investment to the subsidiary. Moreover, the value of the tollway business could be crystallized if it is offered to the public as a separate entity. Metro Pacific Tollways, which operates and maintains 223 kilometro of expressway across three major Philippine toll road systems, is planning to raise $500 million from an initial public offering this year or next year. Reuters reported the deal could value MPTC at $200 billion or 10,985 million Philippine peso. This is roughly the same as the 114 billion pesos market cap of MPI, whose investments include Meralco, Maynilad Water, Light Rail Transit, Logistics, Hospitals and Healthcare. MPI has confirmed a Bilyonaryo.com report that its board and management have been mulling to take the company private. MPI's latter stock, which is trading at roughly 60% below its net asset value, has not reacted positively to management's moves to enhance shareholder value, including a 5 billion pesos shares buyback program from February to December 2020. Billionario.com also reported that Japanese conglomerate Mitsui & Co. has expressed interest in buying a 20% stake in MPI, which is controlled by the First Pacific Sulim Group and GT Capital Holdings of the Tai family. MPI said while it has received a lot of interest due to its very attractive portfolio of assets, it has not entered into any definitive agreement for an acquisition by any party of a substantial interest in MPI, and neither is MPI aware of any definitive agreement entered into by its principal shareholders. For its part, Mitsui said it was aware of the report but it declined to make any comment. MVP Group confirms Billionario.com story, MPIC Malls delisting from PSE. Metro Pacific Investments Corp. MPIC has confirmed that it is considering delisting its shares from the Philippine Stock Exchange but said that no decision has yet been made. MPIC told the local bourse that the planned delisting is one of several options being considered for the benefit of the company and its stakeholders. From public to private, Metro Pacific has been discussing going private even before Mitsui's rumored interest. While delisting as an option is being discussed, no final decision has been made, MPIC said. The infrastructure conglomerate also said that it has not entered into any definitive agreement with respect to the acquisition of its shares by an investor Sogo Shosha Shopping, Metro Pacific source amid rumors of Mitsui buy-in. Stock delisting Billionario.com reported that MPIC, which is controlled by the First Pacific Sulim Group and GT Capital Holdings of the Tai family, has been seriously considering delisting due to its low stock price.